How you guys doing in YouTube? This is one of the last Condor Plan A buoys in the whole world. And today I'm going to talk about this knife, Condor buoy. And I have here a really fucked up looking cold steel Warhawk that I modified. This isn't gonna break. You throw these long enough, they break. So I wrapped a bunch of crap around it. Give me a second. This is the Tops El Chete. Oh shoot, hold on. I don't like to rip these out of the sheath, so I'm kind of meticulous about it. I heard samurais always slowly put their stuff back, and it helps the longevity of the sheath. And we have here the K-Bar Combat Kukri. I'm basically going to talk about what I like about all these knives. I'm going to have some demonstration, but I have other short video clips of using its bigger cousin, the K-Bar, and talking about some other cheap knives. If you look through my channel, and my apologies, I'm awfully political, and I have a very favorite cat everybody loves. And this is a Tom Brown tracker getup that I put a Gerber Ultimate Survival knife on with this Kydex is tight now. Tops Tom Brown tracker. I just violated my own rule about putting things back lightly, and this Gerber Ultimate Survival knife. I'm going to talk about these knives, why I endorse them, and I do use them fairly often. Okay, so reason why I'm making this video is this is for people, who have a dilemma about what they want to carry out on the field, what your goals are, right? My goals are going to be basically splitting wood into feather sticks to start fires, and to sharpen spears. This is a bad piece of wood. And out of all these knives, the ones I'm not going to sell, is the El Chete, because I paid a lot for it, and this K-Bar Combat Kukri. Pretty much everything else I've shown, I'm going to sell, except for the Gerber Ultimate Survival knife. I am so impressed with that Gerber knife. I don't know why nobody has made like a more durable version of this or something. The video Joe X, the channel Joe X is a way better channel than mine. He breaks this, right? It's a hollow grind. It's got serrated blade. It has a dedicated part for striking ferro rod. It has a somewhat of a pommel to hammer spikes in. I broke the ferro rod. In my opinion, this thing feather sticks better than my cold steel SR1 light. You know what I mean? The Condor Plan A buoy is a great, formidable weapon, and it's also a very good chopping tool. It does not feather stick or sharpen spears as good as the K-Bar Combat Kukri. I mean, I love this thing. I really was happy that I found one of the last ones on Earth, but I'm kind of doing a half-assed tutorial. This thing, if I were to try to sharpen a spear out, this is sharp. If I were to try to sharpen a spear out of this, it could be done. It would take a while. It's working a lot better since I sharpened it, and that's not bad. That's not bad. A ceramic file really does wonders with this thing. Hold on right there. But this K-Bar Combat Kukri, it really just it really just hugs the material. And the K-Bar Combat Kukri is going to scare people less when my Sasquatch looking ass is hiking and stuff like that. So that's I go hiking right now in Idlewild, California. I go off the beaten path, and the terrain there is freaking deadly, I swear. I love this thing. I pretty much replaced, I went to go replace my cold steel with this because this is more compatible. This, with all this stuff on here, which is paracord, some rags holding the paracord, electrical tape, and a lot of Gorilla Glue, it's still lighter than this with the sheath. This thing, holy Lord, does it chop. It can't do any fine work in my opinion. I know some other people have demonstrated doing it. I love this thing. I only, other than Joe X's channel, which breaks it on purpose at the spine on a brick, I've only found one reference on the internet that it took 10 years to break this thing. I'm kind of worried about that. So I Googled that Tops prioritizes edge retention over blade toughness. And in case you don't know what that means is, they heat treat their 1095 into a slightly harder steel. I don't know about all the way around or just the edge. For edge retention. This is obviously a soft steel because I can sharpen it. It's very malleable. And this Gerber knife is a hollow grind. Stays really, really sharp. This Tops Tom Brown tracker, I just cannot sharpen it anymore. This was my first knife and I kind of messed it up. This is kind of what I learned on. This thing's indestructible. I've beat the crap out of this thing, like seeing if it could break on purpose. The work I put into this broke the K-Bar regular kukri. It made it flimsy. It made the handle really loose. This right here, I had this is a Warhawk. I had the Trench Hawk. I just put tape on it with the Gorilla Glue, and I tried to break it on purpose, like stick it in the trees and prying it back and forth, a lot of lateral force and finding the hardest trees possible, and all it did was bent this blade just a little bit. But anyway, I'm making kind of a short video, and like congratulations and hello and thank you for watching. But it's just kind of my own mental note that I'm out of all these tools that I showed you. Again, did I mention this Gerber knife works better than my cold steel SR1? The SR1 does feel like it's more durable. It's probably some kind of harder steel that I can't sharpen as well. And I think it's a flat grind instead of a hollow. Out of all these, which I would keep, the El Chete, just because of the power and the price. But the ones I trust the most with my life, besides the Tom Brown tracker, which is even Joe X couldn't break it without a 5.56 round. This is not going to break, not at all. But I can't baton with this. I can't baton through material with this. I think the X-Wing Black Eagle Tomahawk, it can baton. I don't know through the huge logs, but I already forget the channel where he demonstrates it can baton. You can hit it on the spine of the stick or the tang, the long, whatever, you get the point of the Tomahawk. And I really like, I miss my S-Wing. I shouldn't have sold it. I'm probably going to try to get another one. But the ones here, this one, the Condor, this buoy, I feel the safest with in the wild against predators or crackheads. But out of all these items, I would keep this and the Gerber. The Gerber with the serrations. The Gerber with its serrated blade, I mean. And Googling how to sharpen serrations and stuff like that, or, I mean, you could Google how to do it. But I found that getting shavings with, I don't know if you can see that on camera, getting those shavings in to start a fire. This I got the Uber something like ferro rod from Germany. It's like 8 inches long or something. Oh my goodness. This makes big, it throws huge sparks. The spine of my other pocket knife, the cold steel, doesn't do it justice. It's just scraping more material off for a less of a fire spark. But really, again, I hope that I didn't baton anything. I'm sorry I didn't smash anything. I got to get back to work. But oops. I hope I didn't cancel you guys. I would keep this, the Gerber, and the Tops El Chete. But I just hope that the El Chete lasts my whole life, because I eventually put a lot of mileage on these things. God bless. Keep on rocking to the free world, guys.